Hi, my name is Melissa Wooten. I'm going to be speaking to you about what the effects are on children who face divorce today. Do you know how much divorce really affects children? Approximately 1/3 of children of divorce do well 5 to 10 years down the road. Another third shows some difficulties coping, and the remaining third experience more serious problems, according to Judith Wallerstein and Joanne B. Kelly. Many children will not speak openly about the divorce and how it is affecting them. They become rebellious and act out in many ways. As a parent, you should be there for your children because some cases come to death due to suicide. Many parents worry about the effects of divorce on their children. It's important to remember, though, that every family and every child is different. As a parent, it's up to you to recognize when your child is crying out for help. Some of the more common warning signs that children are having difficulty coping include sudden, unexplained changes in behavior, sleep, or eating habits. Don't be afraid to seek help early and often, and never ignore red flags that your child needs immediate help, such as becoming violently aggressive, self-medicating with alcohol or drugs, cutting or expressing suicidal thoughts, which that's happening every day with children who face divorce. Any concerns you have should be shared immediately with your child's doctor or therapist, who can best refer to you sources of assistance in your local area. The effects on our children can be taken care of with help. Always pay attention to your child and seek help when needed. Now, let's discuss why we need to take action in this matter. We have all seen the effects of divorce on children in our family, neighborhood, or community. Multiple scholarly studies show that the divorce of their parents cause a big impact on children, according to Wayne Parker. In order for parents to work well with their children through the divorce process, they need to be taking care of their own needs as well. An empty emotional bucket cannot help fill the bucket of another, especially a child who is feeling the effects of a divorce in his or her own life. Divorce leaves children to struggle for a lifetime with the residue of a decision their parents made. Children of divorce are more aggressive toward their parents and teachers. If you contrast children from intact families to children of divorce, children from divorced families are twice as likely to have to see a mental health provider, twice as likely to exhibit behavioral problems, more than twice as likely to have problems with depression and mood disorders, twice as likely to drop out of high school before graduating, twice as likely to divorce themselves as adults, less socially competent, and tend to linger in adolescence before moving into adulthood, according to Kathy Meyer. What can we do about the problem? As parents, we should go through counseling with our children. We need to be available, whether it's to listen, comfort, or take a little of their wrath. Be there for our child, according to Denise Whitmer. Stay consistent in discipline, routines, and relationships. Try to be a unified front with your ex-spouse. Try to agree on what is allowed and what isn't. There are two things to keep in mind when dealing with consistency in relationships and your child. One, your child has relationships with your ex-spouse's family. You'll need to respect that matter if your relationship with that person is still viable or not. Two, your child is still your child, not your confidant, messenger, or sounding board. The less you use your child at this time, the better they will be able to adjust to the divorce and live normally. Keep your promises, both expressed and implied. It's easy to promise your child the world when you know they are hurting and you are part of that cause of the hurt. Don't compound the problem by promising them everything under the sun and then not being able to deliver. And if you do make a promise, keep it. Be the one to model resilience. If you're able to get some help, accept the change in your life and move on to creating something better for yourself. Your child will learn how to be resilient with major changes in their life. I know this because I am a child of a divorced home, and so is my daughter. It's not an easy thing to go through, but you learn to cope with it as long as you are there for each other, and you are always there to listen to your child and comfort them whenever they're needed, and never speak down about the other parent, no matter what. No matter if you hate the parent or you just are not getting along, had an argument or anything. And never ever let your child hear you speak with the other parent about anything, in case like a heated conversation winds up happening, because that can take an effect on your child as well. If you remain bitter toward your ex-spouse, continue having conflicts, and or use your child in any way, that is what you will be teaching them. So you don't want to let your child see that if you are bitter. And you want to try to not be bitter no matter how hard it is. In conclusion, divorce affects children in many ways. Going through counseling can help you and your children. Try to always keep a cordial relationship with your ex for the sake of your children. Always be there for your children and pay close attention to their behavior. In the introduction, I asked, do you know how much divorce really affects children? They become rebellious and act out in many ways and often commit suicide. Always pay attention to your children during a divorce, because it can save their life, and put them through counseling and yourself as well. Do counseling together so that you could learn to cope with the situation together and always be open with each other. Being open is very important when it comes to you and your children. You want your children to be able to trust you and always be able to come to you about anything. So in this situation, with the divorces that are happening every day, there's so many suicides that are going on, so many children that are facing drug addictions and going to prison and different things. You don't want that to happen with you and your child. So always be open and be honest with your child. You don't want the resentment to fall intact with you and your child, and you don't want your child to feel that they can't come to you about anything. I have two pictures that I'm going to show you. One is of a father holding his son. And this is what we need to be, doing every day with our children, is holding them and comforting them through the divorce process or anything that they are going through. I'm just going to flip the camera around for a moment. There's the father holding the son. That's what we want to do every day with our children. Also, I'm going to show you a picture of a child that is depressed and hiding in a tunnel. That is what we do not want to happen. That is what we do not want to happen with our children. It's a very sad situation that the kids have to face. So to keep them from going through all of this and thinking of thoughts of suicide or anything like that, just always remember to love your children, be open with them, honest, and go through counseling. Do whatever you have to do to keep your children from having any thoughts of suicide or turning the wrong direction and not going in the right path that they should be going and that we should be teaching them to go to. I got all of this information, some of the information, from Judith Wallerstein and Joanne B. Kelly. Their book is called Surviving the Breakup: How Children and Parents Cope with Divorce. I got it off of singleparenting.com. Also, Wayne Parker, he's a fatherhood expert, which was also off of singleparenting.com. Kathy Meyer, divorce support expert, and I also got that off the singleparenting.com. And Denise Whitmer, which is a teens expert. which is another one that I got off of singleparenting.com. The visual aids, as the photos that I showed you, I got off of dreamstime.com and singleparenting.com. I hope this helps every parent realize how serious the divorce process could take effect on our children these days, and helps you see the things that you should do with your child whenever facing this trauma for your children. Never, ever, ever give up on your children, and just continue to love them through the process. Thank you.